bless me. What does Charlie say? I sent my last super chat without a message, but my question is simple. What's the benefit of men marrying in today's climate? All right, guys. Y'all have blessed me so much, man. I'm going to answer this. Now, this has two answers. What's the benefit? First of all, and I don't want to make this too long, but there are there benefits? Yes, there are some tremendous benefits. Next, it says there's zero benefits. There are tremendous benefits. Now, what we need to do is reframe or analyze what we mean by the word marriage, right? It's like if you're a doctor, if you are a pharmacy, if you're a drug company, and you come out with a drug that's supposed to cure arthritis, and then you make the drug that cures arthritis, and then you find out after you make it that it also helps with high blood pressure. It's really good helping with high blood pressure, even though it's supposed to help with arthritis. Mm-hmm. What you'll find out as a drug maker is that once that drug gets out, doctors will start prescribing it to people that don't even have arthritis. They will start prescribing it for people who have high blood pressure. And what that's called is like an off-label use of that drug, right? The doctors are prescribing the drug for something that the drug was not intended. And when people ask, is there a benefit to marriage? Like my man, Charlie Hightower here is like, what's the benefit to marriage? What you have to understand is that there are many, many benefits to marriage, but they are off-label benefits. If you've ever been in the military, you know that there are so many contract marriages. What's a contract marriage? You would know what a contract marriage is if you've been in the military, because you saw so many people getting married for them damn BAH benefits. That's an off-label use of marriage. What's another off-label use of marriage? Immigration. You don't think if I lived in fucking... Yeah, you don't think if I lived in Guanajuato and my family was starving, you don't think I'd try to cross this goddamn desert and marry some fat white woman to get my papers? Oh, I'd be blowing out fat white women's backs trying to get my damn paperwork together. Right? And once I got my legal residency, I could get my, driver's license. I could get my work permit. I can get all that beforehand, really. And I can get a better job, start earning a salary, start sending money back home to my real wife, right? And my kids, and I can bring them up. I can adjust them, right? What is that? That's marriage. That's a huge benefit of marriage, but it's off label. Mm-hmm. A lot of you guys don't have to worry about this, thankfully. But there are a lot of people in the United States with disabilities. And what you might not know is a lot of people marry their girlfriends or their boyfriends because in a way they're kind of marrying their caregiver. Even though they might not be in love or this or that, they're marrying their caregiver. That's a great way to secure a caregiver. If your caregiver wants to get married and you're blind, you better marry that woman. What the fuck? No, lead attorney told me I'm high value. You're blind. You better marry that woman. What the fuck are you talking about? That's an off-label use, right? Many people get married, guys, because their parents want them to have grandchildren. Some people, and you can kind of tie this to religion. Let's just say religion. A lot of people get married because it's a religious calling. It's a religious obligation. Even if they don't want to get married, like, no, this is my culture. This is my religion. This is what we do. What is that? It's an off-label use of marriage. The problem with Charlie, when Charlie says, is there any benefit to men marrying? And so many men ask me this, they're thinking in the happily ever after. They're thinking in the on-label use. The on-label use, they're not thinking in all of the off-label uses. But if you're a 20-year divorce attorney, you see so many off-label uses. But you guys never consider all of these. You guys only consider this because y'all don't have the experience dealing with all of these different types of marriages. Y'all don't know about arranged marriages and stuff like that. Y'all only think about, Jack and Jill and just love and the picket fence.
So Lead, out of all of the cases that you have dealt with over the years, what percentage of those off labels have you seen?
A lot of times, so many marriages have the on label and off label mixed in. Okay. Having said that, I handled immigration cases for a few years and I saw a ton of off label. I mean, it was a ton, right? But you can also get multiple off label uses. For example, I had a case where there was this 130-pound Hispanic dude. He was a Mexican. And he married this white
that's
woman.
Small.
That's what she said. And he was 130 pounds, super skinny. And he was like in his 30s. And he married this white woman. This white woman was about 350. I don't know if you've seen a 350-pound white woman. That's a big woman.
That's like Big Shirley
and she was on disability. And he would go to work in the mornings and he would fix her all of her food and put it right by her bed. And then he would come home at lunch to change her food out and bring her more food that she could eat in the bed. And then he would go back to work. And then he would come home and then change her food out again to do the third feeding. And her feet were all cracked. He would rub lotion on her. Her feet would like crack and be bloodied and stuff. She was so big, she couldn't use the bathroom on her own. So he would wipe her when she did number 2. He would bathe her. And she was fine, but she was just so fat that she had just gotten, she couldn't really do anything. And she had this man to support her. And so what you had in that case was 2 off-label uses, because the guy wanted to, he was doing all this and they were, going through the immigration process. So he was going to get his paper, but the woman had somebody like a caregiver. So in that case, you had 2 off-label uses in the same marriage. So that, when Charlie says, is there any benefit to men or people getting married? Like, you guys don't really see the full scope of a marriage. I see the full scope, whereas you guys just think of love and romance. But if I was going to limit it to love and romance, I would still say there is a benefit. But here's the one thing, Charlie, and men, that you have to understand. The whole being married for 50 years, you have to put that to rest. All right, that's a fantasy. If you have to define what is a win when you get married. I'll tell you what a win is in real life. I'll tell you what a fucking win is, Charlie. A win is you love a woman, you really love her, and she really loves you. And y'all get married. And y'all go through 2 years of honeymoon bliss, and it is fantastic. After the 2 years and the butterflies are gone, it becomes a real marriage. But y'all still love each other, and y'all are married. Year 3, year 4, year 5 goes along. Year 6 is a little tense. By year 7, y'all are going through some problems, and maybe y'all go to counseling, or maybe you do something else and you fix it. You get it back on track. Year 8 is okay. Year 9 is good. Year 10 is good. Year 11, shit hits the fan. Year 11, shit hits the fan. Y'all divorce, and it's terrible. It's a terrible fucking year. I call that a win. To me, If you had a prenup, that's a fucking win. Guys, humans don't live a long time. All right. Let's say the average age of a person that dies, let's say it's 70 years old. So at 35, you're middle aged. Isn't 35 half of 70? Listen to what I'm telling you. 10 years of your life is so important. If you can exchange 10 good years of a marriage for one bad year of a marriage, and you exit that bad year with a prenup so you don't lose anything, but you had the 10 fucking good years, that's a win. That's a benefit. That's a huge fucking benefit. If you can exchange 10 good years for one, I would love to lose $100,000 if you give me $1 million. So many of you get the million, but then you lose the 100,000. You're like, oh, well, I didn't get 10 million. You're being fucking greedy. You're like, oh, well, the Lord said it's supposed to last 50. Well, fuck. The Lord said you were supposed to get 30 million. You didn't. You didn't get 30 million. You got 1 million. And in exchange for the 1 million, you lost 100,000. That's a win. But a lot of you enter into the marriage thinking that you're not going to take this. If you have the $100,000 loss, then the whole million just goes out the window. Now, some of you might not get $1 million. Some of you are going to get married and you're only going to get 500,000. Still a win, maybe. Some of y'all are going to get married and you're going to get 3 million. It's going to depend. But if the exit cost is way less than the benefits, it's an absolute win. You need a prenup. If you enter in without a prenup, then the shit turns to this. All right, then you're fucked. If you're trying to do it for love, it's an emotional cost. A divorce is super emotional. I know that. I was married 10 years. I went through a divorce. The shit was tough. Because you married 10 years with somebody, y'all go through some things. Y'all have some really good times. I had an ex. I broke up with my ex. We were together 3 years. I mean, she was with me when I got the phone call that my brother committed suicide. I mean, we went through some real shit together. And you can be with someone for so long, they kind of turn into your best friend. So not only are you losing a girlfriend, and not only are you losing a wife, but you're losing like your best friend. And if y'all have mutual friends, you could lose that hoe and some of the friends, So it's like, it can be emotionally draining. Now, a lot of men are like, you know what? Fuck all of that. I'll stay single forever. Salute. I am not telling you guys to get married. And if you do get married, I'm telling you to get a prenup. But what I'm telling you is, if you adjust your expectations and you protect yourself, being in this type of relationship with a human being for however long it lasts, if you're lucky, it can be one of the most rewarding things of your life. And this is me telling you this as a 20-year divorce attorney. So when you ask me, Charlie, if there are any benefits to man, being married, it's yes. But it depends, and you got to be lucky. Guys, for you to be in a successful relationship, you only need a few things. Shout out to Enoch. You need to be able to choose your woman wisely. You yourself need to be marriage material. There are so many men who get married and you're not marriage material. You are not cut out for marriage. Shout out to my brother AMS. Y'all know AMS. What did AMS say? AMS, Alpha Male Strategist. He said in one of his videos that the best relationship that he's ever been in, the best relationship that he's ever been in with a woman, do you know what it was? It was sexless.
Really?
The best relationship that he was ever in was sexless. Why was it sexless? It didn't start out sexless. It ended sexless, but because of him. He is the type of man that needs variety, with sexual variety. And he found a woman who their personalities just jived. But day after day, month after month, he found himself becoming less sexually desirous of this woman. It wasn't her fault. It's not like she got fat or anything. But just his personality, he needed variety. And that came to a point in time where she would get naked and you hit it 1,000 times. This is a man who is not cut out for a traditional marriage. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person. It doesn't mean he's not a bad man. It doesn't mean he's not high value. But it means the institution of marriage is not fit for him. Some of y'all, college is not fit for some of y'all. Some of y'all, the military is not fit for some of y'all. Some of y'all, YouTube is not fit for some of y'all. Some of y'all, having kids is not fit for some of y'all. Some of y'all, marriage is not fit. But you don't know that. You don't know your personality. You just think, I love this girl. Look at her titties. I don't want the titties to go away. I'm going to marry her. 7 years later, she's cashing you out. Your shit's ruined. You should have never got married in the first place. But you don't know that. I'm telling you guys things that no one really considers. No man asks himself, am I fit for the institution of marriage? That is a question that men do not ask themselves. Like, I know so much about this. I've just seen it for 2 decades. I've seen it my entire adult career. So for you to have a successful marriage, you need to be able to choose properly, vet your woman. You yourself need to be cut out for the institution of marriage. You only need one more thing. You got the first thing, you chose your woman wisely. You got the second thing, you are cut out for marriage. You only need the third. If you get the third thing, you will 100% have a successful marriage. What's the third thing? Third thing is luck. You need a little bit of luck. If you got the first 2 things, but you don't got the third thing, you're fucked. You're fucked. No one's going to tell you this. I don't know where you're going to go on YouTube. Do a search.
You need like 4-leaf clovers.
You need a fucking 4-leaf clover. That is exactly right. Boston Celtics. You need a 4-leaf. If you don't have your fucking lucky rabbit's foot, if you don't got your upside down horseshoe, if you don't got your fucking, lucky seven.
Man, some of these guys have been watching. They're like, hey, AD, pull out the blue cap on leads. Like,
they're saying I'm capping. Listen, I'm fucking not capping, dude. I'm telling y'all, I know y'all don't want to hear it. What I'm telling you is 100% facts. And to be honest, there are 1,400 of y'all in here. Y'all could combine all of y'all's knowledge of marriage and it would not be anywhere close to mine. None of y'all know about marriage more than me. Y'all not even close. And I'm telling you, you're not going to find anywhere this on YouTube because there are not many 20-year divorce attorneys on YouTube. Oh, you can go to your pastor. Oh, you can go to your pastor. He can tell you about your fucking marriage. You can go to your life coach. Oh, I got a life coach. She sells fucking Cutco and Mary Kay on the side, but she's my life coach on Thursdays. She can tell you all about marriage, your fucking relationship coach. You can go to fucking Rebecca Pope if you want to. But I'm giving you the real. All right? If you got those 3 things, can you just go out and get those 3 things? No. Can you fully vet a woman? No. Can you fully know whether you are fit for marriage or not for long term? No. You can analyze yourself right now. You don't know how you'll be in 5 years. Certainly don't know how this chick is going to be in 5 years. And you damn sure can't go out and effectuate the acquirement of luck. Either you get lucky every day or you don't. I've seen some marriages fall apart for the most unlucky shit. I mean, the most unlucky shit. Life is so hard. And you can be unlucky in a second, your shit fall apart. You know, everybody's wondering, oh, well, you know, if my marriage, I want my marriage to last, 50 years. Bitch gets married to some dude, he's dead in 3 years. Fuck.
Life works in mysterious ways.
I mean, I hate when people say stuff like that. I hate when people are like, oh, it is what it is. Like,
oh my gosh.
It is what it is. Like, what? Life works in mysterious ways. I'm just fucking with you. A little bit. But it's always going to be a gamble. You're never going to know where you're at long term in a marriage. You just got to take that shit day by day. And if you start looking down the road and seeing, man, we've hit a rough patch and we've been rough for 3 months and I don't see it's working. You gotta pull that fucking parachute. You got to get out. I've seen so many men spend an extra 5 years in a fucked up marriage, an extra 12 years, an extra 17 years in a fucked up marriage. 17 years, they'll never get back. You guys are not thinking about marriage correctly. Well, the Bible
when it's the best
says,
time, though. Like, okay, let's say you're a man or a woman and it's time for you to get out. When is, so you think 3 months of seeing like repetitive things is the best time?
No. I mean, it could be anything. Okay. It could be, listen, your wife could call the police on you and tell the cops that you slapped her when you didn't. And you get arrested. It's time to get out that night.
Yeah.
It's time to get out that night. It absolutely depends. Right. Sometimes you might want to, get a bitch 24 hours or something, sometimes you got to end it immediately. Sometimes you can wait on it, give it 3 months, give it 6 months. It's all, how you view it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have just seen so many men waste their lives in bad relationships. You got to get out. Now, I'll tell you when men really get entrenched in a marriage, and this is where it gets fucked up. Men get entrenched in a marriage when the kids come in. When a man has a child with that, especially white dudes get entrenched. White dudes have a lot of this whole, honor and duty and obligation thing. And white dudes will stay in a fucked up marriage for years when they're kids. White dudes got it bad, man. Black dudes like, all right. I mean, black dudes will stay in it too, but white dudes will really stay in it. It's the kids that will nail a dude really into a fucked up marriage. The kids and the misunderstanding of what marriage should be. It's just the misunderstandings. You guys enter into marriage thinking it's supposed to last 60 years. Well, the Bible said, well, I'm not going to argue with you guys. If y'all think marriage should be forever, I'm not going to argue with you. You can think what you want. But I'm telling you, as a subject matter I'm an expert in this. Marriage will go better for you once you stop expecting it to last 50 years. You can do the woman hopium thing. You can hope it lasts for 50 years. Hope away. Once you start expecting shit, once you start thinking you deserve shit, oh, I paid the mortgage for 17 years and never missed a payment. She deserves, oh, you're going down the wrong road. So there really needs to be a recalibration of what marriage should look like in 2022. Maybe we're operating on what marriage should look like in the 1700s or what marriage looked like in the 1930s, maybe. But we're not in the 1930s anymore, guys. All right. We need to change. There's the internet now. We need to, we're not doing shit on typewriters anymore. AV will tell you that there's this constant battle in our nation about how literal you should read the Constitution. There's nothing in the Constitution about the internet.
Right.
What do? There's nothing in the Constitution about, whether it's your right to have the internet or not, whether it's your right to be gay or not. The Constitution doesn't mention gay people. What are you supposed to do? The Constitution doesn't mention abortion. So so many people say, listen, the Constitution has to be a living document. It has to change with the times. No one ever considers a marriage license as a living document. Now, I say no one, and that is not true. There are people who form their own marriages, and that's the best way to do it. Shout out to Mr. Lucario. Mr. Lucario, he's a YouTuber. Y'all know him. He has a wife. Shout out to his wife, beautiful wife. Do you know what his wife has? A boyfriend. His wife has had the same boyfriend for over a year. Mr. Lucario will be at home with his wife. His wife will leave home at 2 p.m. His wife will go over to the wife's boyfriend's house. Mr. Lucario's wife will have sex with her boyfriend. Mr. Lucario's wife will have sex with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend will pull out his dick and put it in her mouth and nut in her mouth. Then Mr. Lucario's wife will come home to Mr. Lucario. That's a non-traditional marriage. But who's to say that that's wrong if they're happy? And to be fair to Mr. Lucario, he has a girlfriend. So, sometimes maybe he's eating the cooch and he comes home with cooch breath. Like it can go either way, but they're happy. What is that? That is treating marriage as a living document. That is treating marriage as that we're not going to be bound by what these, people in the 1700s said marriage was supposed to be. We're going to create our own marriage and we're happy. Is that fair? Is that valid? I think it's absolutely valid. What two people want to do in the privacy of their own homes, run it. To me personally, it's fucking, I can't imagine my wife coming home with nut in her mouth from another dude. But if they're fine with that and they're happy, run it. These are the things that you guys do not consider when y'all are talking about marriage. When y'all say, is there any benefit to marriage? Y'all have no idea what y'all are asking. This subject is so complex. Shout out to Adam. He was like, I was eating TLA, goddamn. I'm sorry. I'm so shout out to Alan. I'm sorry, but you guys, y'all don't see the complexity. Y'all are at 2 + 2 level, and I'm doing algebra over here. I see this so deeply. That marriage is so complex. So everybody can have their own vision of marriage, but I'm telling you, when you guys say, is there any benefit to marriage? I already know what level you're on. You're on level number 1. I'm on level 100. Marriage has so many layers. All right. So shout out to Charlie, and thank you so much, Charlie, for that super chat and the other one as well. Super, super generous. Oh, we got instructor Mike.
With the pew pew. With the pew pew.
Oh my God. Oh my God, instructor Mike. Shout out to Tam. Tam says tax benefits. What is that? Off-label use. I need a wife. I need a wife, guys. And I need 4 more. And I need all these women to have social security numbers. I need the social security numbers. I need to put them on my taxes. I need deductions, God damn it. Help me. Where's Trump when you need him? Help me.